Hey guys, this is your girl Shy again with another video. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but just been really busy, taking care of me, getting some things in order. But I haven't forgotten about you guys. I do miss making videos, and I just wanted to wait till I had some content to share. I just didn't want to get on here and just be rambling just for the sake of for the heck of it, but I just want to put on some quality content. So today, what I am going to do is I want to show you what my latest project is going to be. Well, it's really not a project, but I wanted to know where I came from. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys have been watching those commercials for like 23andMe and Ancestry DNA, and probably maybe been curious, like, I wonder where I do come from. Because, you talk to your, your elders of the family, and they'll tell you, yeah, we got some Indian in our family, of course, the obvious, or, whatever, your ethnic background came from. But I've been watching some folks' videos and saw them getting their results, and also, for spiritual reasons, because I've been doing a lot of transitioning and changing, not only, for, my body, getting myself back healthy, but also for my mind and soul, because I feel like until I can get to the next level, I need to know where I came from. I do have an idea, talking to, from both sides of my family, my mother and my father's side of the family. I have an idea of what my ethnic background may be, of course, the obvious, but also where, do I come from any other parts of the world? If I do, if I don't, or whatnot. So, you know what? I decided to put the end to the mystery. And funny, there was running a special, so I went ahead and ordered my Ancestry DNA kits. So I was really excited to get it. They was, like I said, they had like a 20% off special. I think these things are like $100 regular price, but I got mine for $69. So I'll just show you what it comes in. It comes with the instructions. I'll read it later. And then it comes with, I'm guessing, the bag to put your samples in. And here's the test tube, because it collects your saliva. I thought they was going to send me like a little swab with a toothpick in it, or with the swab with the, with the toothpick on it, and they'll put it inside and they can, run my genetics. But no, you have to actually spit in this thing. I'm not going to show that part, me spitting in a tube. But, and then also the box that you send your stuff in. So if you're just curious, what it says is that I have to go online, ancestrydna.com.activate. Then I take the tube, and then I put in the code on the tube. It's actually not on the tube. It's actually on the packaging. It said it's on the tube itself, but it's also on the back of this as well. I need to, and they said this code is the links the sample to you. It's the only way we can identify your sample. Without it, you can't get your results. Then it says, fill the tube with saliva to the black wavy line. Fill the tube until your saliva, not including bubbles, is at or just above the wavy line. It's easy, less than 1/4 of a teaspoon. Do not overfill. Then there's this blue solution here. So once you do the funnel, then there's a cap that you put in. I guess it stabilizes the solution. Yeah, it says remove the funnel from the tube. Screw on the enclosed cap tightly to release the solution. That will stabilize the DNA in your saliva. Tighten the release stabilizing fluid. You will know it works when the blue solution from the cap has emptied into the tube. Then you shake it up for at least 5 seconds. Then ensure your sample mixes thoroughly with the stabilizing solution so our lab can best process your sample. Place the tube in the collection bag. Place the sample inside the collection bag provided in your DNA kit. Seal the bag with an adhesive strip. And then you take your box and place your sample in the prepaid mailing box. Seal the box with the adhesive strip and mail it in. And it says your results come in 6 to 8 weeks. And before you do spit in the tube, it says do not eat, drink, smoke, or chew gum for at least 30 minutes before giving your saliva sample. So just making sure, they're getting the best results. So I don't think I had any of those things, but I started this. I looked at the clock and it was around about 7:30 when I was initially reading this. So I'm gonna give it another 20 more minutes, and then I'm gonna follow these instructions. So, like I said, I'm not gonna go through the whole steps and watching me spitting in the tube. I think you got other better things to do. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and prep this. And then in 6 to 8 weeks, of course, I'm gonna put the two videos together, and then I will hopefully get my results in another month and a half and show you, and I can see where I come from. All right, guys, see you later. Hey, you guys, it's Shy again. It's 6 weeks later, and I am back. My DNA results are in. I am so excited. Well, I got the email last night when I was at work. I had to go ahead and take a peek at it because what I initially wanted to do was do a natural reaction, but it did not work out that way because, curiosity got the better of me. So I went on ahead and took a look at it, and some things I was not surprised about. It was what I expected, but then there were some wild cards, some things that didn't show up that I thought should have been there. But there was one thing that came up. I'm like, now where in the world did that come from? So I'm going to be showing you guys that. So without further ado, let's get logged on so I can show you what I am made of. Hold on. All right, here we go. So don't judge me. I know I got a little icons on my desktop. I got to do a desktop cleanup, so don't judge me. So I'm already logged into the site. There we go. So here I am. So here is my DNA story. One of the things I was kind of disappointed about, well, let me just go on and say with the positive. Let's just start with the positive. Yeah, I could see it was pretty much on point. When I was looking at other people's videos of their DNA results, they had it a big pie chart. They'll say they gave you an overall percentage of what your region was, and then they broke it down. This one, they just broke it. They just broke it down by each of them. I guess it's okay, but I would have liked to see, I was this, and this. So I'll just go ahead and expand it. Okay, come on. All right. So, according to this, I am 24% Ivory Coast and Ghana, 22% Benin and Togo, 10% Cameroon and the Congo. Makes me think of that Nikki Giovanni poem. I think it's called Ego Tripping, when it says, I am born in the Congo. I remember that episode of A Different World when I believe Kim, when she did that portrayal of that poem. Beautiful poem, so, check that out. Nigeria, 9%. I am 8% Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, which I kind of had a feeling about my European ancestry. I knew that I had some, but what regions I did not know. But I was thinking, I said, it got to be, somewhere Ireland, Scotland, Wales, because I think my great-grandfather was Cunningham. And when I did research on their name, they said more, Irish, origin. So, and this is the low confidence region. So these are my highest percentages. And these are the little lowest. So here, 7% Senegal, African, Southern Eastern Bantu, 6%, Europe West, 4%, Scandinavia, 3%, Finland, Northwest Russia, 3%, Great Britain, 1%, Eastern Europe, or Europe East, or whatever, 1%, and Africa South, hunters and gatherers, 1%. Now, this is the one that kind of threw me for a loop. I could have sworn, or, of course, you hear people always say, we got Indian or Native American in our family. I was looking for the Native American part. And come to find out, as you can see, nothing in Native American. And I'm like, what in the world? Okay, but this comes up. I said, what is Melanesia? I was like, I know it's less than 1%, but it shows up. So when I click on it, that's when you each click on it, it'll show you the map of the world, and it'll show you that region. So, and then you can move so you can do the overview. So this Malaysia includes the continent of Australia, New Guinea, and other change of the Bismarck, Solomon Archipelagos. I know I said that wrong, forgive me. And let's continue reading. This area is home to some of the untouched societies because of isolated, rugged terrain, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just like, where in the world did that come from? So, you can expand on that. When you expand on that, it gives you a really great history on there. Yeah, Papua New Guinea. Shows you some really great pictures of, that part of the world. And then when I saw this picture, I said, oh my goodness, I remember reading about this additional genetic facts about Melanesia. I know I said that wrong, so don't drag me, y'all. But I remember hearing about this, and I'm just like, oh, that's what this is. Yeah, I said, even though it's less than 1%, but that, threw me for a loop. I was expecting to see something in regards to Native American, but as you can see, none in there. And then you can go and look at the genetic diversity. It breaks down what a typical Native have compared to yours. Let's go back one. Let's go back to maybe I went back too far. So go back to my DNA story. Okay, so let's go back to the Ivory Coast and Ghana. So this is what I had the highest percentage of. So again, you can click on it. Gives you now this is what I will say, okay, I think they have some validity to it, because one time I was questioning the validity of this, but knowing some of my family's origins and the history and what my aunts and my mom and everybody has told me, I kind of got it. So right here, the Ivory Coast in Ghana, they say your DNA shows that you have ancestry from this region, South Carolina African Americans. And it shows that part of the world here and where I'm from. I know for a fact that my great-grandmother on my mom's side, she was from Beaufort, South Carolina. They used to call them the Geechees or the Gullah. I think it's called the Gullah tribe or the Gullah culture. And I know that she came from that region. So when I saw that, I said, that really makes sense. So that I wasn't really surprised about, knowing what I know about my family's history. Unfortunately, she died pretty young. She had that was my grandfather's mother, and she died when he was just a baby. And so, we really couldn't get pictures or any other information, because he was raised primarily by family members, because he was, both of his parents were gone by the time he was about 3-4 years old. Benin and Togo, click on that. And this is the one thing I do like about this site. You can get some very depth in details about the different regions that you're in. Just like I showed you, if you click on click on that. Well, let's see. I'm messing up, but let's go back. Benin and Togo. Okay, yeah. Continue reading. And then it'll give you, the history of that region. Okay, right now it's acting up, so it's not going to let me. Well, go back to like the genetic diversity and showing how I compare to a typical native from that area. So, like I said, I think they changed. Of course, they changed their website. From what I typically sell from other people's videos, but it's just real. But seems like they changed the structure. I just wish they had the pie chart so it could break down. You know, what how you are. I know they broke it down, by each individual, but I wish they summed it up. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So when I did the math, it came out to be I'm 79% African and 20% European, with that 1% from the Pacific Islands that I showed that wild card. Also, what I do like about this is that it give you a timeline of your family's history and how they migrated. So if you go back to 1850. Again, here is my right here in South Carolina, where the folks from the Ivory Coast and Ghana came to settle, and this is typically where my family came from. They came from Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. My mother was in Florida, but when I go down the timeline, it'll show that, and it also picks out people because I did do my family tree. So I found Eleanor Rose. That was my great-grandfather's. We believe that's what was my great-grandfather's mother. So she's somewhere in there. So you go down further. Then you get more information. Again, the South Carolina, which was my great-grandmother. This was my great-grandfather's. And all my great-grandparents. Let's expand it more. So here's Laura Pierce. That was my great-grandmother. That was the from South Carolina. Beaufort, Lance, Kansas, South Carolina. This is Robert Lee, which was his mother, his wife. I think you saw the video or the clip before when I showed you all of these folks. This is another picture I need to add to the wall. I just recently, before I got my DNA results, I was building my family tree, and I actually got in contact with some cousins that I had that actually was doing their family tree. So I reached out to them. They reached back out to me. So I got some more information on my father. This is my father's side of the family. And they gave me a picture of my great-grandmother. Her name was Ida Bell. So both of them, believe it or not, I think I mentioned that in my last video. She lived to be 106. And I think she lived to be 102, 103. So both of my great-grandmothers will live to be over 100 years old. And then again, it showed you where she came from. She was, I think, from what I got, she was born in Texas, and she's been all over the place. Arkansas, Mississippi, and finally, I think she settled back in Arkansas. But I think she was initially born in Texas, according to some of her birth records. But it's kind of cool. If you build a family tree, they'll pinpoint the people on there. Of course, I got pictures and everything that I was lucky enough to download. So as I go down the line, more people come up. My great-grandmother's father. I didn't have his birthday. This is my grandfather, my mother's father. My grandfather, my grandmother's. And then, shows their picture there where they were born, where they settled at. So all in that region. And then you get to me. That was my grandfather's father. Like I said, my grandfather was born in 21, I believe. And if he lost his father in 28. And this was my grandmother's mother. The one she died before she was like 17 or 17, 18, something like that. And these are my parents right here, and they showed them. There's their picture right there. And my mom, God bless her, God rest her soul. She's with the Lord now. But it shows them where they come from. So I think this was a really cool feature here, where you can trace some folks that I've learned, they got even longer trees. So I think as I get to add more add more folks, maybe my ethnicity will, get a little longer. Now, this is one that was very interesting to me, to DNA matches. So whoever does this DNA test, you can find, some of your family members or people you say are DNA matching. I was going through some of these folks and I was just like, oh my goodness, really? And I'll just give you a preview of a few of them. Now, this one, I was not surprised about my cousin Tiffany. I already, we kind of grew up together. So I didn't know that she did the test as well. So when she came up, I said, I'm not surprised. So, I went on ahead and starred her. So I tried to call her and say, yo, I did that DNA thing and you come up as a match. So that just goes to show the test is pretty legit. It says that because we are second cousins, confidence extremely high, and shows you the weight of it. And then she doesn't have a family tree yet. So this could also help you build yours. Bobby Kennedy, I don't know who he is, but it just seemed like he's a second cousin. So where he come from, I'm not sure. I did click on this one, Linda Brantley, and she's actually on my mother's side. She did have a family tree. I'm not going to, expand upon that, but she did have a family tree, and I see that she was part of one of my mother's aunts, my great aunt. So she's a product of that. So when I looked at her family tree and was able to trace it, I was like, oh, okay. So that's how she's related to me. So, and like I said, some people you don't even, you really even know. You're like, okay, wow. Just like this gentleman here, have no clue, who he is. Last time he logged on several months ago. And he's like a third or fourth cousin. How? I don't know. According to this, he locked his family tree. So I might send him a message and just say, hey, I was looking through this and saw that we have a very strong DNA match. I would like to see how, we are connected. So you can go down the line and people who shared their pictures and just like, wow. Some people you'll just look at it, you like, what? And then, let me go ahead and click on Tiffany so you can see. So if she had her family tree would have been down there. And then also I can show, and it shows also her ethnicity. So she had Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Cameroon, and then her trace regions were the same things. And then also she has some to say Northwest Russia, Scandinavia. So we're pretty much got the strong, the same, bloodlines, probably a mixture from her mother and her father. And then shared matches. It shows you people who, so this Bobby Kennedy person, I don't know where he comes from, but a second cousin somewhere. I probably talk to some of the old folks. They'd be like, oh yeah, that Bobby, that's so-and-so son. You know how that goes. Linda Brett, so I'm pretty sure, that's pretty much correct, according to that family tree. Shamir Robinson. So it shows you all the people that we have in common. So these are the people we have in common according to my mother's side. And then, like I said, and then they show how the weight of the confidence, high, good. And then I think some was going moderate. I had according to, let's go back one. And okay, go back. Okay, so according to this, I had 568 fourth cousins or closer, one starred match. This is the my cousin. I give her a shout out. Well, that was Tiffany again, but there was the other cousin I told you that I found on here. So give her a shout out, Jaquisha. That's I got a chance to talk to her, and then I talked to her her grandmother, and we began talking, and then we found that we had the similar peoples and everything, and everything. So, definitely, we definitely share the same family history. And then I've been looking at her family tree, and I know she's been looking at mine, pulling names that she had that I didn't know about, and she pulled names that I had that she didn't know about. So to build hers up, so wow, 1,100 people. Whew. And I think I only have 100. But as you start adding other people, their wives and children and everything, so yeah, it does seem to grow. But yeah, wow. And then the DNA circles. I don't know quite too much how. I thought I added my family tree in there, but I guess as other people, probably, they start contacting me, maybe they'll add me into their circles, and then this will change here. And then, of course, I told you I've been doing my family tree. Just give you a little look-see at it just for a brief moment. So that's, okay, I was doing my father's side of the family right now. So here we go. My mother, my father. This was also my father's wife that she passed away last year too. Carol, so I put her in there, even though they didn't have children together, but I did add her on there. So here's my father. That's me, and those are my two sisters that he had with other relationships. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. So, like I said, wow. I was just very surprised about these results, because I knew that the African American or the African ancestry was going to show up very strong. So when I did the math, it was 79%, and the European was 20, because both of my great grandfathers, I believe, were mixed. So, but this one was the wild card, that Southern Pacific right here. That was the one that just threw me for a loop. I'm like, wow, where did that come from? So I'm actually waiting on my uncle, because I did, because he was on my father's side. Because all of them are still living. On my mother's side, I told you my mother's passed away, and all of her, and then she only have two siblings left, which is my aunts. And I've heard that you could get some stronger results from a male side. So I had asked my uncle, my dad's younger brother, I should say, not the youngest. I asked him to do it, so we're waiting on his results. I bought him a kit, and he's gonna do it. So I'll be pretty excited to see on the other side. Now, as far as my mom's side, since I said most of the everybody is gone except for two daughters, I just might mask like a cousin, to do it. Even though I might get some little bit of I would say skewed results, but we should get something, from my dad's side and from their father's side, and see how they all compare. So that's me in a nutshell, guys. Wow, that I'm thinking about doing that 23andMe. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. But guys, let me know what it is that you think. Is this something that you would try to do? It seemed like they're running like a lot of specials. I got this for $79. I think they're running $69 right now. I could be mistaken. Regular price was $99, but seems like they're always running a sale. And I sent it in February. I said February 11th. And and I got my results today, so it took a full 6 weeks. They said between 6 to 8 weeks. So guys, do be patient with them if this is something you decide to do. I might do the 23andMe. The only reason why is because they go a little bit deeper, and they also do deep genetics, like hair type, hair color, also a health analysis, which I think is very, very important. As well, just to see what traits you have, what carrier of genes that you have, and how to better take care of yourself. But it's good to know where you come from. And I see this is where I was, all of my African ancestry, my European ancestry, my Pacific Islander ancestry. This all what makes up me me. So, getting to know where I come from, getting to know where my origins are, and, taking that and becoming greater. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any, please questions, feel free. Comments, thoughts, open for all of them. So until then, guys, thank you for watching and have a blessed night.